Okay, welcome. Just in standing posture, just finding your feet on the floor to begin with. And just taking a few breaths. How are you doing as we enter winter? And there's quite a few germs around, aren't there? So if you find yourself coughing with all the movement, don't suppress it. Just sort of cough away and shift some energy from that lung area. So we're going to start with just some gathering of chi from around us. And also just that feeling of opening the chest out and extending the body a little bit and bringing some energy through calmly into the body. And as you do that, you can just check in with your standing posture. That kind of alignment. How are my arms? Are they rising at the same speed and quantity? Are my knees relaxed? Is my tailbone going down or is it sticking out? How am I feeling? Breathing in as you just bring that energy down, like a healing collection in the ether into your body. Beautiful. We're going to go up the other direction now. We're going to do a little bit of shimmer and shaking, but visualizing a tree. So bring some energy up from earth and start stealing the energy. And as we expand, imagine your arms are lovely branches of a tree, and then just shimmer and shake. We go into the next part of the year from the solstice. We definitely need to make sure that we've got rid of the last part. There's that kind of shaking the tree, any leaves or little branches or little twigs that you don't need anymore. Shimmer and shake. Shimmer and shake them off. Lovely way of just getting the top part of the body and the arms to gently wake up and gently warm up. Last little bit, last couple of twigs, few leaves that are still hanging on. Time to say goodbye. And we're moving on. Another big shimmer and shake. Lift some legs up, especially if they're feeling heavy. Try and encourage them to get a little bit lighter. Back in standing posture, sinking into the earth. Remember to keep those knees soft, and we're just going to do a few turns from the waist. I'm trying to keep my hips facing forwards to separate the waist area, that girdle vessel going around it. And if you can, allow the neck to join in and check out the room behind you. Not if it hurts, but if you keep it forward, looking forward, then you're sort of doing a bit of a double twist. You might end up with a bit of tension in the neck. So allow the head to travel with the shoulders. It's always good to check out your wallpaper behind. See what state it's in. They're allowing the arms to clonk onto the body, around that girdle vessel, saying hello to the waist area, trying to strengthen our core, gathering energy into the energy gates, the front and the back of the body. Right, we're going to mix this up by taking a step forward, just 45 degrees. So just go one and leave that foot still for a bit. And then we're just moving our knees, changing up the use of muscles in the legs. Like giving yourself a juicy massage around the lower back area. Okay, we're going to move to the other leg. So back into normal. And when you're ready, out to the other side. Checking out your knees this morning. So they mind the extra weight of your body on them. A few more of these. When we're doing these repetitive ones, just check in with your breathing. How are you doing? You're managing to breathe through your nose this morning and out through the nose. Back into standing. And then we're going to lift one heel up so we can get a little bit more extra turn. So when you're ready, lift a heel up and then the opposite. And really start flowing. Please double check you're not going to hit something behind you, especially if it's another person in the room. The most unfortunate start to the day. Oh, a bit more flowy this one. Almost like you're starting to fly like a little helicopter. Just keeping one toe on the ground as you turn, but you're just being anchored in by one little toe, or the big toe, keeping you earthed, stopping you from flying off. Okay, I'm going to slow that down when you're ready. Don't completely stop. Normal standing posture when that feels okay. And then we're going to check out the size of our bodies by carrying on with this. So we go, ole, big sort of arms up into the sky. And then we come down and one arm goes across the body and we're up as if we're scooping some air up, back to the middle and scoop some air up the other side. The other arm just disappears behind you. Start twisting round the rib area of your body. Ole. Just get some yin and yang feeling, big upward movement. Opening, really feel the sides of the body starting to join in. How are your ribs doing? They're very flowy this morning or a little bit tight. Breathing in and breathing out. Lots of knee movements. Beautiful. A couple more of these. Hope you're starting to warm up. And then coming to a pause. Shimmer and shake those arms. I think we'll just do wise out just to open up the shoulders this morning. So standing posture, your arms are now very long wings, fluffy chest, almost a little bit concave, like a bit of sleep. And then when you're ready, you're rolling back the shoulders, opening up those hands and the inner parts of your arms, and you're rotating your neck just one direction on the horizontal, as if you're trying to look behind you. And when you've come as far as you can, you start moving backwards. You never completely stay still. We're coming to the front. So this is from the 8 silk brocades. We're opening up the other direction. And when your neck has gone as far as it can, see if your eyes will just travel a little bit further. Visualize yourself as that great big fluffy owl sitting on the branch. Just woken up, you can hear something behind you and you're checking it out. And as we're rolling our shoulders back, we're allowing the scapulars to melt down our backs. Opening up. Wise owl looks behind to eliminate illness and distress. One more of these. Opening, checking out behind you like an owl. Coming back. do some handbags just to make sure we've opened on the sides. So big arm up, coming over like a big windmill, over to the top. The wrist goes limp and we're being pulled up by the wrist, letting go of those finger muscles, expanding the side of the body. Just to double check that, you're looking down at the other arm. Soft knees. Shimmer and shake that arm. You're trying to let go of the muscles and the flesh from the bone. Releasing any tension which possibly might cause stress. Go to the other side. Big windmill. Wrist goes up. We're opening up and we're shimmer and shaking and looking down at the carpet or the floor. Try not to think stretching, just think opening. I'm opening the intercostal muscles between the ribs. Hopefully giving you more ease around the chest and rib area, allowing more room for those lungs to function. Last side. Going over, cheeky person, lifting your wrist from some cloud above you. Just become a very expensive handbag, and you're shimmer and shaking, looking at the carpet. Brilliant. Shimmer and shake. I think we'll start our Shibashi Set 2. You will recognise, I'm sure, or you might know the whole thing, or you will recognise a lot of the forms. Obviously, it's a collection of forms, 18 of them. So here we go. Standing posture. Just check out your alignment. Lift up those toes like the puppet again and place them down, expanding the feet, lifting the heels as well, placing them down. We'll just do that a couple of times. We're lifting the toes, placing them down. We're trying to expand our feet. Basically, you won't be able to get in your normal size shoes after this. We're lifting the heels up, we're placing it down. Checking out the knees, really soften them, and then stand up nicely, but keeping that unlocked feeling. The tailbone is not sticking out or sticking out the front, it's just tucking down. The spine is long and the neck is part of it. And through crown gate on the top of your head, you are connecting to the heavens. Through bubbling spring in the feet, we're connecting to the earth. The chest is broad, we have air under our armpits. These arms are capable of flowing. Soft hands if you can, trying to release the tension. Sometimes it's quite hard, the amount of power we have in our thumbs and fingers to actually let go of the muscles. Just give it a go. Here we go. Number 1, regulating the chi, or ki, as we say in the world of shiatsu. Fingers down towards the earth, which to almost feel it tingling, and we're just going to draw it up as if you're ripping grass and mud out of the earth. You come up just to about the chin, soften the hands and sink down. Almost like you're stroking a great big horse. Bringing up that energy, sinking down, and we're just regulating the chi. Just breathing in, breathing out. Whatever feels good for you. Only control your breath if that feels comfortable. Pulling at Earth's energy, bring it through the body. Find air under the armpits, sinking down. One more of these, regulating the chi. Carry on with the body, trunk. We pop our hands into prayer position. We're coming up near the body. I'll come on the side to show. So it's quite close to the body, but not touching. Then changes into up prayer position, and we're sinking down. You're sitting down behind you. And the prayer hands move up but upside down. So we're creating a circuit, like a barrel, circulating the energy round the body. And this is called circulating the chi on the microcosmic orbit. Your whole body, in fact, your cosmic orbit, your cosmic world. Your world inside a bigger world. We're just circulating that chi. Don't bring the chi too high. They say if you bring it too high, it can get stuck in the neck on the way to the head. You're just taking it round the trunk of the body. Wonderful work for those wrists, especially if any of you are coping with classic arthritis development in the wrists. Keep them moving, opening, circulating in the microcosmic orbit. Let's move on. We're going to do wind blowing at the willows. Release the hands, return one foot completely to the side. And with the opposite arm, lift it up. Weight goes on that leg and we are open and looking behind as if we're running. The opposite hand, the opposite foot. And then you've got that opening as you kind of look behind you, and we've just got that flow. The hand is bringing the energy and then smoothing it behind you. Like a slow moving action figure in a movie. And with a wind, we're blowing at the willow, beautiful willow tree. As you get into this form, you can just see how you can twist yourself and look behind, even look the other way a little bit as well. Just seeing how comfortable you are with the twist in the ribs. Wind blowing at the willows. One more this side. We're going to go to the other side. Send out, and when you come back, we're swapping feet round, opposite again. Remember, we're leaning in and looking behind. Bringing the toes up, that front foot up to match the energy of the hand above, lifting the air up. This always feels very spring-like. You think of willow trees. I don't tend to think of it as a winter tree. Think of it as the sunlight on it and the shimmer on the water. Opening up, enjoying that opening of the body at the front, that soft flow. Wind blowing at the willows. One more of this. Off we go. Bring the energy back. Standing still, one foot goes out 45 degrees, but it's on the toe. Heels up. We are searching for needles in the sea. Hands energetically running down the legs, not actually touching. Bending the other knee, we drop the heel as we come to the floor. Hands are in the water and we're coming up. And these needles are not pine needles, but to standing, we're going the other direction. They are tiny little fish, energetically running down your leg. Your heel drops into the water and your hands are in the water, looking for those tiny little see-through fishes. We go from side to side. Searching for needles in the sea. all of the foot and toes, dropping that heel down. It's like you're in a tiny little, quite shallow rock pool. You've had to pop your toe in very carefully not to disturb the water. You don't want to frighten the fish off. Lowering our feet in, keeping our balance, so we can go down with our hands and have a little look. Searching for needles in the sea. You're finding it very difficult bending over. Imagine the rock pool is very, very deep, so that your hands don't have to go so far to reach the surface of the water. Do one more of these on the other side. Dropping that heel, fingers in the water, coming up, a little bit of a horse stance, and we are basically throwing the net out. Your fisher people searching with their net. They are casting the net from one side to the other. This always feels better with a bit of a horse stance. Get more movement from the hip when we are flowing. Visualize yourself on the boat or on the shore, part of a team, great big nets going out into the water. You're looking at the horizon, see if you can spot any fish arriving. Fisher people casting their nets. One side to the other. Try not to lean too far forward. Don't put any strain on your back. One more of these, just let it flow. Brilliant. Immortal, pointing the way. For this one, you need a bit of room to curtsy backwards. So, hands all soft, collecting that chi from the earth. We travel all the way over. Oh, actually, we'll start at the side and we'll go all the way down. Coming down, we come up to the other horizontal. Our hands turn into swords, so that's 2 fingers, double strength sword, and they whoosh as if they're cutting through on the horizontal. And as they do that, you take the foot, curtsy towards the direction your swords are going, and you're trying almost to point behind you, pointing the way back to normal, soft hands. We do a 360 degrees. Find your swords and we're off to the other side. Cutting through. Pointing and curtsying. Haven't got much room. Curtsying to behind. Brilliant. Soft hands. 360 degrees and you're cutting through the air. Keeping your balance. Trying to point behind you. Soft hands, you swirl around, fresh swords, and we're off. Other direction. This is your immortal power. Fighting through the earth, the world. Double swords. Perhaps slaying the dragon was very ancient, very mythical. Cutting through the air. curtsy, looking behind if you can. Soft arms, let's do a couple more of these. Captain slice and looking behind. One more. Soft hands. Two swords. Right and back. Hope you had enough room for that. It's quite a big movement. This one's a bit neater. Mischievous boy kicking his legs. Hands on hips. Really keeping your balance. We pick one foot up and the toes stay up in the air and we are sitting down behind us. That comes back down. The other one comes up. Real game of balance. Bringing the energy across so you've got all your weight on one leg. Easier if you bring the leg across. You've got more of a central area where the weight's going. Mischievous boy kicking his legs. And this is just representing that ability to recognize it's okay to do absolutely nothing. You've got plenty of time on your hand. To the point you're just messing around, kicking out your legs. No purpose, no goal. Just enjoying the movement of your legs. If the balance is out of your reach today, you can always just use the heel on the ground. I'll just try that. So I'm just putting my heel on the ground and I'm still getting that sitting down feeling behind me. And by doing that, you still interchange the weight ratio between both legs. Lifting the foot up, almost like you're ready to kick a football. Mischievous boy kicking his legs. Brilliant. I'm going to move on to number 8. One more of these. Nice and equal. Our lovely holy crane is going to worship the moon. So again, we need a bit of room behind us. Arms out, coming up as if you're going to pop your hands onto the moon. As you find the moon slips through your hands, they come down into prayer position. Coming towards that heart center. This is very much for the heart, the crane coping with the fiery yang of our body. I'm going to pop the leg behind and another curtsy, and we sink. Connection right through to the heart, and then off we go again. Gathering the chi, as if you want to hold the moon and bringing that energy down into the heart. And actually touch the body with your hands if that feels okay. Sinking in, heart center. And it's that meditative need of the heart for that quiet inner peace. Counterbalance the heady, joyous party feeling, which can be a little bit tiring after a while. To keep the heart happy, just need that constant balance of peaceful happiness. Slightly less hysterical, however fun that is. Couple more. Only sink as far as feels good for you. Using all the lovely leg muscles, holding you up, keeping a real upward movement with your body, not leaning anywhere if you can help it, sinking down. Holy crane, worshipping the moon, delighted in its beauty. One more of these, reflecting, sinking, connecting. Coming to standing posture. From our immortal with their swords pointing the way, we're going to find that yellow dragon. Hopefully it's escaped. So standing posture, the knees soft because we do another one of those sitting down on the chair behind you. Grasping the energy where you can. Hands turn into soft barrels as they draw up the energy, almost like you're pulling up your braces or rowing oars. Elbows out, opening the chest, and we get up not quite as far as the throat. The hands turn into blade hands. So that's the small little fingers towards away from you. And they just start curling over because they're great big claws. And you're just going to push them out and sink down. So I'm creating this barrel rotating effect again. Bring up that energy. Find your claws. And you're pushing them out on the side. Rising energy. Holding your beautiful claws. They're not hands anymore. Very strong. Great big pointy claws on the end of the talons, bringing that energy up. Very powerful, coming down. Yellow dragon. Please imagine the yellow dragon very, very large. Just feeling a little bit of tension in those muscles in the hands and your claws. Sitting down. Yellow dragon and dragons in general help us think about our self and sort of respect, and feeling good about things. I think it's just the power of them, like finding the powerful strength within you, feeling secure about yourself. Drawing that energy up, finding the claws and pushing them out, sinking down. Yellow dragon, pushing their claws. Do one more of those. And straight into drawing the bow to shoot the arrow. Bring that energy up. Think a little bit of a horse stance might feel better for this one. Draw the energy up. And then we're looking one way, finding that eye finder, which is just the L shape of the hand, and just open. So this is from Silk Brigades again. Don't go quite so generous in Shibashi Set 2. Don't need to sink down quite so far. Just got a soft movement. Draw that arrow past the eye, connecting the energy of the liver to the eye, looking from side to side. Very much liver and gallbladder, the ability to make decisions. And those decisions can be in the present, very quick making decisions. What flavour coffee shall I have? In the coffee shop in a queue. to long-term decisions. It's seeing your future, seeing the possibilities, pulling the bow to shoot the arrow. A few more of these. Really look into the distance. One more. Now we're going to get back into that water. Thumb and middle finger, it's our twin dragons. These are the dragon heads. This is for the back of the body, the bladder and kidney. Taking one step forward, 45 degrees, and your energy and your whole body is with that foot. We then rise our hands again, tole. Feel that real opening upwards. Weight goes on that first foot, come out, and when knees bent, we're pushing down. So we're trying to keep a completely straight back going down the back leg. Bring that energy up. Oh, we don't need to go to both sides, we can just stay on one side. Let's just do this for a bit. Keep those feet absolutely planted into the water. Lifting up and pushing down. So we've got the double direction. The hands are taking the energy down. Elbows never completely bend. The crown of the head is going up to the heavens, extending the energy of the backbone. The back of the heel is going down into the earth, extending the energy down the back of the leg, down the Achilles, and we are opening up. And our twin dragons are swimming through the sea, plunging deep and coming up for air, emerging from the sea. Breathing in when you come up, breathing out as you plunge down. Feeling the length of your spine. Do one more this side. Energy up, rising, energy falling, energy expanding down the back. Beautiful. Bring that energy up, back into standing posture. We're going to pop out the other direction. We are sailing away at some different seas. Twin dragons, very strong. Twin-headed dragon. A serious beast to arrive in the water. You want to swim quite fast away from that, wouldn't you? Extending the body, merging and plunging. Really feel that movement, the double movement on the back, going down, but it's coming up. Breathing in, breathing out. Couple more. Keeping that front knee really bent. One more. Twin dragons emerging from the sea. Finish by rising your energy and bringing that back down. So the hands come down. Let them rest on the water, which is now up to your waist. And we're going to cross the wild blue ocean. So the hands are going to circulate as if you're on a whirlpool of water. Do that again. Coming round. And as we come to one side, we're going to turn that foot and lift up to the side, like you're coming out of the swell, and then coming back down onto the water. So we're on the wild blue ocean, go round in the whirlpool, turning the foot to the other side and up. And if you can even lift yourself up slightly. this is no gentle sea. We're in a great big wild ocean. Visualize yourself in a little boat with great big waves. We don't want to get caught in the low part of the swell. We need to come up, rise up on the big waves, the crests of the waves. This always reminds me of the wild things from the little book, Kitty's book. Crossing the wild blue ocean. Feel the chi under your hands. And cope with the waves and cope with the swell. That deep blue colour of the water. Hope no one's seasick. We'll be off it soon. We need to make sure you don't disappear in the water. A couple more of these, swirling around that lovely swirl pool, rising up. Last one, swirling round, coming up and up. Brilliant. Hands on the water. Similar movement. This is lion plays with balls. We're definitely on the earth again. We're going to bring our energy, and the hands form a blocking, like a martial art block. So the arm is up on the back, as you're going to turn away, and the arm at the front is the pushing. So block and push. We block and push, but we lift that leg up, which matches the back arm as well as we go forward. We swirl the hands round to get into the next position, turning to the other side, and we are blocking and pushing. So this is lion play with the ball. So as your arms swirl round, imagine a ginormous ball. I always think of a beach ball. So the lion's on the beach, and he's playing this great big beach ball, swirling the arms around and blocking. Obviously playing somebody else, another big lion. Maybe a big pack of lions, their great big beach ball on the beach, blocking, swirling that ball around, maybe kicking it with that leg they've lifted up. The back arm and the back leg does the folding, the other one does the pushing, and block and push. Feels very martial arty. And push. Visualize yourself as a lion. Very big, great big paws, sinking into the earth with your feet as you turn, block. Make sure your claws don't burst the big beach ball. Lion. Playing with ball. Do one more of these. Brilliant. Embracing the moon, the lower dantian. Dantian, low one below the belly button, it's your storage pack. Soft feet, you might need to take it a little bit wider. And we're going up, almost like you're drawing a great big hot air balloon, grasping the shape of a moon. And when you're holding the moon, bring it down. Keeps the same size into the lower dantian. Energy stored, and we're going to go up and find it again. You can turn that back heel, give you more movement. We're grasping the next moon. Bring it down, embracing it. The big arms as if you are about to embrace somebody. Big honour to the moon today. Always fits in with that change of equinox and the season, solstice, connecting out, slightly bigger than just on earth. Bring that moon down. Packing the energy into that lower dantian, your battery to use later. Very important in winter. Keep storing energy, not overdoing it. If you've been invited to hundreds of Christmas parties, make sure you have very quiet time in between. Calming the heart, storing the energy. It's like a squirrel with their nuts, waiting for the sunshine again. Embracing the moon at the dantian, and it means the lower dantian. Bringing it in. One more of these. Bring that down. Beautiful. Popping the feet into quite a neat standing posture. And we're going to go up into the sky, not as a moon, but as a phoenix rising. And literally bring the arms up. Soften the knees a little bit, come down. I think it's the opposite with this one actually. We come up, you want to be even taller. This is a real connection, flying high, probably to the sun, not the moon. Softening down, wings opening, drawing you onto your toes if you can. You're in full flight, the mythical phoenix, that eternal creature, coping with the rays of the sun. We're just flying straight up, not messing around. Don't need to fly along. We're just going up to the dizzy heights of the heat. Obviously, don't come up onto your toes if you're feeling outrageously wobbly today. Soften the knees as you sink down, expanding the feet into the ground, and then lifting up if you can. That feeling you are actually flying, air beneath the feet. Tall, straight, stunning big wings. Phoenix spreads their wings. Do 2 more of these. Breathing in, breathing out. Feels good for you. 1 more. Back down to earth. Very earthy now. We're going to do number 14. It's striking the opponent's ears. Suddenly we're in a street fight, or maybe thrown out of a pub. Taking a step 45 degrees forward, the hands turn into little barrels, soft barrels with the thumbs outside. Weight goes on that leg, arms come forward, and we have got a leaning forward. We're reaching out to box our opponent's ears, both sides at the same time. Check them out eye to eye. Bring your energy back into that middle waist area, very neat, opening up the chest, and we're off to the other side. We're in a full-blown fight with multiple opponents. Keeping your balance, keeping your central force, keeping your strength, never locking any joint, one side and the other. And we're back to sorting out that liver energy, possibly frustration, often leading to anger. We're going to box these imaginary opponents as opposed to getting ourselves into a street fight in reality, which isn't a particularly good idea. Really stare them in the eyes. Whoever and whatever the issue is, have a little look Couple more of these, striking the opponent's ears. One more. Brilliant. Hands open again. We're back onto that water feeling. We're just going to circulate the chi like stirring porridge, feeling it underneath your hands. And circulate the chi, the dantian again, lower belly area. Allowing the movement from the ankles and the hips to rotate, hula hooping. Arms are moving, there under the armpit. Drawing that energy round and around. I always think it's good to imagine the energies then disappearing behind you, circulating you around the back, and you're picking it up again, bringing it round. It's not completely at the front. Dantian goes right through that lower trunk of your body, connecting through to the kidneys, which holds your essence and jing, ancestral ki, and post-heaven ki, what's happening there in the kidneys, the lower dantian, and we're just circulating the energy round. And when you're ready, it feels good. Let's try doing that the other direction. Feeling and loosening in the hips, in the pelvic area. Making some space for all the organs. Circulating the chi, the dantian. One more circle. And the last one, we come to number 18, Shibashi number 2. I'm going to just collect some chi, very simple. Gathering, palms facing down, and just bringing that energy through the body. That's how we began again today. Feeling it seeping through you. It's almost like a scan. If it helps, you can just imagine a beautiful clear colour, clear colour light, blue, yellow, seeping through, reaching every part of the body. Let's do one more of these. And as we do this, imagine you're a lovely tower or a little castle, and you're just going to shut some of the shutters up. Don't need to be quite so open. Holding all that energy inside you. Fantastic. Hands together. Big rub. If you're going to start a fire, creating a little bit of heat. With standing posture, feel you're nice and aligned. Tailbone down, chest still open, standing upright. And with your hands, just release them and hold your chi ball. And gentle pulsation. See if you can feel it today. If you can't, you've got a beautiful clear orb in your hands. Movable sign, sparkling. clear. Be playing with your chi, moving that chi ball around, enjoying power within your hands. When you're ready, we're going to pop this back into our body, into that lower dantian, as we brought a lot of tension to it, but also to the heart center. So one on the chest, deep within, and the other one pushing that chi into the lower dantian. Big rub, simulating it into your body. Okay, we're going to finish with our usual 3 claps. So definitely know we've finished. Blow through the hands and smooth down your chi. When you're ready. 1, 2, 3. Smooth down your chi. A little bit of stomping on the ground if you need to.